Hello everyone. This is a question from CSAT 2014 and it says this is a table with some numbers given and we are supposed to find out x using the existing relationship between the given numbers. Now whenever you have more than two numbers, generally it is the first thing that you might want to try is to sum all those numbers. So in this case, for instance, 29 plus 13 plus 18 is equal to 60. Now go to the third row that you have. 30 plus 27 plus 3 you will find is also 60. So here you are able to find a relationship directly. So for the middle row also, x is equal to 60 minus 33 plus 19, because the sum of all these three is supposed to be 60. And when we solve this, वो भी दिया
नहीं होगा
हाँ
8 आएगा
पक्का ना. When we solve this, we get x is equal to 8 and that is my answer. Okay. This is a question again from CSAT 2014. It says location of B is north of A and location of C is east of A. So this means I have a point A and B is somewhere to the north and C is somewhere to the east. Here you have to know the directions. This is north, this is south, this is east and this is west. So there are many times questions on direction, so you should know this graph. Now they say the distance AB and AC are 5 and 12 respectively. So I have not drawn this to scale. This is 5 and let us say C here is so this AC is 12. Now they are asking the shortest distance between B and C, that is this. So this requires a very simple concept. So if I have a right angle triangle with A as one side and B as the other short side, this is called the hypotenuse and this is simply, let me call this C. C square is equal to A square plus B square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. So C is A square plus B square under root. So in this case, let me call this C. So C square is equal to 5 square plus 12 square. I solve this, I get 25 plus 144, which is equal to 169. And if C square is 169, C is simply 13. Now, for the exam purposes, you should remember some Pythagorean triplets because they might help you solve questions very quickly in the exam. So let me just list some of those. The simplest one is 3, 4 and 5, because 9 square, that is 9 plus 16, 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 25. Second one is that you just saw 5, 12 and 13. Then we have 8, 15, 17 and 7, 24, 25 and so on. Another thing that you should know is that if I, especially for the very simpler ones, if you have a Pythagorean triplet, if I multiply each number by a certain multiple, the resulting 3 terms will also be a Pythagorean triplet. So let us say I have 3, 4 and 5 and I multiply all of them by 2. I get 6, 8 and 10 and this is also a Pythagorean triplet. So at least try to remember the first two, and if possible you can, this one is also 7, 24 and 25 is also relatively frequent in examinations. So at least try to remember these 4 Pythagorean triplets. So whenever in the exam, let us say you see two numbers like 5 and 12, it should strike your mind that maybe this is a question which will involve Pythagoras theorem and triplets and the answer might be 13. So at least sometimes, you know, you can just, if in case you're really hard pressed and you want to take a guess, you see 5 and 12, you can just mark 13 without even reading the question. I've done this in some cases. This is a question from CSAT 2014. Okay, this says in a row, A is in the 11th position from the left and B is in the 10th position from the right. So let me draw a representation of this. So this is the left end and this is the right end. So A is the 11th position from the left and B is the 10th position from the right. So this is my right and this is the 10th position. This is my B. This is the 10th position, and there's something in between. This is the right, this is the left. Now it says A and B interchange. So then in this case I have this becomes B here and this becomes A. Then A becomes the 18th from the left. This means from the left, this guy. So basically I can just remove this. Let me just work on this. So initially B was the 18th from the left. This is what I have. So how many persons are there in the row other than A and B? So in this case, let me take B. So if B is 18th from the left, this means, let me just forget A for the moment. I have B right here. So if B is 18th from the left, this means there are 17 people sitting to the left of B. This guy is the 18th, so he's just sitting himself. And towards the right, he was 10th from the right. So this means there are 9 people sitting to the right. So then if I'm supposed to calculate the rank of B from left, it will be 17 plus 1 himself, that is 18th. And from the right, it will be 9 people that are to his right, and then he himself, that becomes 10th. So this is what these two statements combined would give me. Now this means how many people are there total in the row. So total people is equal to 17 plus this one B himself plus 9, which is 27. But this is where even after doing all this hard work you can lose out, because the question does not ask you how many are the total people. It says how many persons are there in the row other than A and B. So this is very, very important. So there are 27 total people, out of which 2 are A and B. So the remaining people are 25, and this is extremely important for you to notice this.